Hello and welcome to KYC. I am Sharad Dubey and you are watching NDTV Profit. I've got a very interesting company. It's been buzzing in trade also, but I won't give you the name before that. I'll give you some hints. Try to guess it. It'll be easier for you. The company manufactures heat exchanger HVACs. It's an interesting full form. I'll give you that option, but this is a hint. The second hint is it's based out of Nimrana, Rajasthan. It's coming from RICO. It's like an SEZ with a lot of benefits. Also, the stock, it has been listed in 2024 and it's up 313% when it comes to the IPO price. That means it's been a multi-bag up. So now you must be understanding what this company is all about, and largely in this sector itself, if I talk about it, there's only one proper play. Of course, there are some larger MNCs also who are having some kind of a product portfolio, but specific is KRN Heat Exchangers. This is the company I'm talking about. Everybody is talking about it. But why are we calling this company right now? Earnings season is over. Data center theme is also playing out. Stock is also buzzing in trade. So let's list down the key reasons why KRN Heat Exchanger is important. The growth plans for 2027. This becomes very much important. Anything you see, any cooling solution you see, there needs a lot of structures behind it, and that is where this company comes in. What will be the margin outlook of fourth quarter, and will there be more inventory gains? We already saw that in Q3, and that's why the EBITDA margins were up. That is one question to be asked, and of course this is the second question. Both of them are correlated. And also, apart from these numbers, we'll be asking about the new bus AC segment. They have acquired an interesting name, so we will be asking the management, what's the outlook going ahead, what's the incremental benefit coming like. And if you look at it, the international expansion plans, global heat is also there, global warming is there. It's less than 20% of exports, but nevertheless, Middle East and US, that's where we'll be focusing. And on the show, we'll have Santosh Kumar Yadav. He's the CMD of KRN Heat Exchangers, and everybody's talking about this stock. So that's something which we'll be watching out for. But let me give you some more details about the company, what everything is all about, and then we'll get our doubts clarified also by Santosh. The first thing is it's based out of Nimrana in Rajasthan, and company designs, manufactures, supplies tube type heat exchanger. This is something which you do not see. It's inside the ACs, inside the compressors. So you might see the cold, but the entire machinery is something which the company makes inside. This is used for heat ventilation, AV and registration industry. So I'm talking about HVAC. So that is where these formula start coming in. Now this company was listed on both the exchanges on 3rd October 2024. Remember, the financial history, the shareholding history will be very limited because it was recently listed, just been 1 year. The company has acquired bus AC division of Spear Refrigeration System. That is where the incremental question starts coming in. Company makes 5 mm to 15.88 mm heat exchanger tubes. These are those smaller tubes which are combined together in different AC and ventilation setups. Now the company is having 2 manufacturing facilities, and both of them are in Rajasthan. And looking at that production, that is around 10 lakh or 1 million units is something which the company is producing. In terms of components, 84% sales are being done domestically as well. That means the remaining 16% is for your exports. HVAC full form means heating, ventilation and air cooling. This is something which you should know. But to whom do they give their business to? To the OEMs also. That's why we call them original equipment manufacturers. These are the small alerts which is very important when you analyze a company like KRN Heat Exchangers. There are key triggers for it which is very much important. Management has reiterated 20 or 50% capacity utilization for the next 2 financial years. This is very much important. You should note that down. The second trigger is the data center order growth. That is where the interest is coming in the markets, and expected that the medium term growth would be very strong. The tariff overhang that has actually gone, and the company might be increasing their penetration strategies, at least for European Union and America also. Remember, Middle East also, they are having a good proportion of revenue coming in the exports. The data centers business, they're capturing 15% of market share over the next 3 to 4 years. That is why the street is very bullish on this counter, and a very significant up move has come in. I'll give you all those details in the street cred. But the export revenue breakup, how things are looking like. The real action, of course, Middle East and America. That is where the entire setup is looking like, and this industry itself is growing and it's a sustainable growing coming in. Also, let's look at the other key numbers also apart from this. The marquee clients are there, whichever AC you want, major of them, the key components are there from KRN Heat Exchangers. We check Daikin AC, Schneider, all of them doing well. And remember, the entire industry, the Indian HVAC industry, that is a CAGR of 14.5% till 2029. So there is a big industries to be addressed to and to look at. So this is the entire setup coming in for the industry and the company. But to give you more perspective on our show, what we do, there are roughly 8 parameters where we track a company, and let's just get all of them to judge a company in KYC. It includes income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, return ratios. That is also something which we watch out for. Non-numbers, it's the shareholding, street cred, how much money it has been made, has it been a multi-bagger from IPO? All these questions will be answered in this query. Valuation, largely the peers I have not tracked. I've given the actual valuations of what the peak numbers could look like, because we need to be very fair in our analysis. It should be apple to apple comparison. And outlook, industry bhi, company bhi kya karta hai, that is something we would be focusing on. But let's start with the first parameter. That is the income statement. And remember, in our analysis, we track the Q3 numbers also. So largely we see the numbers are going well. The net profit that has gone up to almost 53 odd crore, little bit of pressure in the margins, but that's the FY25 number. The Q3 numbers are on the higher side when it comes to the margins, and that is what we have picked up the numbers for. And that's the growth coming in. Look at that, from 14.2% this has gone to 20.3%. Will this sustain going ahead, or is this just an inventory bump up? That's what we'll ask Santosh and get our clarity. Q4 is something to watch out for, and FY27. So all side the numbers are looking very strong, and that is where it's showing strength coming in. So Q3 numbers have been good. So net, I will be giving this a strong thumbs up when it comes to the income statement. Next one is the balance sheet. Balance sheet is very much important. I checked the interest coverage ratio. They are increasing. That's actually showing a good strength. The debt equity ratio, that is also down. That's why you're seeing the borrowing from 60 odd crores. It has come down to 33 odd crores. That means there's been a good balance sheet management, especially after using the IPO proceeds as well. And net, the cash bank balance is also there. Despite an acquisition announcement, the company is still having a sizable 151 crore cash balance also. This actually helps the liquidity ratios going ahead. So for the balance sheet also, I will be giving this a strong thumbs up. We spoke about income statement, we spoke about balance sheet. Let's talk about the cash flow segment, how things are moving. And if you'd like to point out, it's very much important to understand, how much type of, operating cash flows are coming in and going out as self. This is a very limited history. So to be honest, we need to be fair in our analysis. The PAT number has gone up. The cash flow to PAT conversion is also good. And because of these two ratios, I feel the cash flow would be better coming in for KRN Heat Exchangers, and it's a thumbs up when it comes to the cash flow segment as well. A little bit of concern starts coming in, and that's the return ratio, the ROE numbers and the ROC numbers. That is something we need clarity from Santosh, is how do we judge this company? There was a big up move. Remember, at that time it was not listed, and this was a standalone number. The consolidated numbers coming from FY24 and FY25, but still from 30 odd percent it has gone down to 11%. Just show the ROC numbers and ROE also. You'll understand the change which is happening. Is this business specific? Is this industry specific? Or is this account specific? All of these details will be asked to Santosh. So it's a negative, I would say, when it comes to the return ratios. The market also needs to understand why this is happening. Also, let's talk about the other ratios, and that's the shareholding pattern. And look at the shareholding pattern. The promoter holding has been decent, but the jump, the interest which has come in post the listing, from 1% this has gone up to 5%, from 6% it has gone up to almost 7 odd percent. So DIs have increased, FIs have increased. So there it seems like a very positive momentum is coming to the stock, and right now also we saw is that a good momentum is coming. So this is a shareholding pattern. It's a strong thumbs up when it comes to the overall numbers. Let's also talk about the street cred, how much returns have come in for the investors, be it short term, be it long term. That is what we'll be looking at. And if you could just show how the numbers have come up from January 26 lows onward. This is just 1 month. The stock is up 55%. It's been a vertical up move coming in, almost a parabolical move coming in. Of course, 1 year basis, stock is decent, up 10%. There was a period when the stock was flat, but if you have got the allotment in IPO, congratulations to you. If you're holding it, stock has given you 313% return. And this IPO just came in at the end of 2024. It's a matter of just 12 to 15 months. The stock has been a multi-bagger. Of course, the listing was also very strong, so do remember that. But nevertheless, the stock has done really well for medium term, short term, and the IPO investors. So I will be giving this a strong thumbs up when it comes to the street cred. Let's talk about the valuations, how they actually pan out, and we have taken the 12-month forward P valuations. There was an euphoria in this counter. This was almost 56 times its P, but after that it has corrected. But remember the up move which has happened recently, still the stock is cheaper, almost 42 times. But let's just give it a break. Why? Stock has run up also, and if you're reading this right now, if you're seeing this show right now, it's at 42 times right now. So there has been an uptake from almost 30 times to 42 times in a matter of a month. So you need to exercise that caution as well. Is it more cheaper compared to its peak level? Yes. Compared to current levels, there might be a second thought. So it's a neutral rating when it comes to the valuations. But valuations ke baad, there's one more important parameter to check, and that's the outlook. That's for, of course, the industry and the company. Most importantly, let's look at the data, how things actually panning out. And this is the number which I'm repeatedly saying is 14.5% up move is coming for the domestic market. And this is a very big theme in the making. The second important thing is this demand which is happening in both residential and retail consumer segment. And as things get quantified, more benefit starts coming in for a company like this. They are diversifying their customer base and increasing their market share as well. We'll ask the management what's the market share actually they are enjoying and how much it can go up. The growth is coming in data center, commercial space, and industrial cooling. And as industrialization picks up in India, the company becomes a beneficiary. There's a new manufacturing facility also which will be inaugurated on March 11. So we'll be asking the management about all these key details. But as of now, outlook, it's a strong thumbs up as well for both company and industry. But let's revise all the ratings, how things are actually panning out, and the income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, all of them have been decent. But return ratios, that's very suppressed coming in. That remains a concern for my analysis. Shareholding, street cred, doing really well, but valuations, they have run up in the last 1 month. So you should take things with a pinch of salt. Outlook remains strong, especially because of the industry number which I looked at, and that's good. So overall, the KYC rating on the higher side comes in at 6.5 out of 8 we give for KRN Heat Exchangers. But joining us would be Santosh Kumar Yadav. He's the chairman and managing director of KRN Heat Exchangers with 19 years experience in this industry. And interestingly, he's the ex-head of operations and Lloyd Electric and Engineering. So joining us is Mr. Santosh. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Santosh. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. But the company of the moment, KRN Heat Exchangers, we just like to understand, what are the key growth levers like for the company going ahead? We already spoke earlier on data centers, but what it means now going ahead?
Yeah, good afternoon, Sarath. So I think recently, honestly, we always don't know why our share was down and why is going up. So, however, now I think India market is, I think, opting for data center especially. So last, I think, week have a AI summit in New Delhi and of course in Bombay. So many players, they announced good investment in data center in India. And we are the one of the beneficiary for data centers. So that's why I think investor is keen to in our shares and is doing good since last week. So as I said in before our multiple calls, we are the key component manufacturer for especially data center cooling. So we hope whatever order will enjoy India market. So based on our capacity, capability, and our legacy in particular in data center, we will be able to, I think, achieve at least 50% of the total requirement for India market for heat exchanger. And of course, we are supplying to maximum to complete HVAC manufacturer for data center. And whatever like one or two still we are not supplying, we are like connect with them already, and we have RFQ from them. So hoping in next one or couple of months we will start to them as well.
Okay,
So
Santosh ji, a little
yeah.
bit of our audience needs to understand your product profile, what it is. It's generally something which is behind an AC or behind, you could say, cooling solutions. It's all around us, but we can't see it. Is it right?
I know if outer side, I think you can unable to see, but back side, if you see like especially room air conditioning, so condenser can be visible like behind the small visibility is there. But however, like in air cooled chiller, you can able to see from outside as well. But it's quite technical, so that's why you can say you are not able to see. But of course, it's the key part of the HVAC system. So we always say we make like HVAC and our industries are heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration. So whatever complete HVAC system in their industry, so we supply our components. So there is the two component, like one is the heating side and one cooling side. So you always say condenser and evaporator. But now it's a heating pump as well, so it can reverse in based on season. So we supply mainly in our commercial industry. Our market share is almost zero from room air conditioning. So what you said, like growth is room air conditioning or maybe 14 to or maybe 15%, but in commercial is much more, around 25%, especially you can see bus air conditioning, and then of course metro
Right.
train and cold storage is quite good now since last year. They are doing good, especially dark store, whatever they are like is
And Santosh
commercial.
ji, talking about the margins, this Q3 number, the margins was 20.3%, and there was, of course, an inventory bump up also. Just want to understand what will be the sustainable margins going ahead on a consolidated or a blended basis for Q4 or FY27. Any range is also fine.
I hope our maybe tough time for margins is still now only, or maybe maximum this quarter only, because our new facility is already started, and now we are ramping up from our new facility. So our overhead or maybe labor cost already increased from new facility. So next year we will be able to sustain our existing margin, and we will able to increase some percentage, because in next year we are going to receive PLI, which we have already, but this year we are going to receive, but next year we are going to receive for sure. Then we are going to receive our RIPS incentive as well from next year. So, and our labor cost or maybe can overhead can be reduced based on our top line once increase. So I think we can enough sustain, and also I'm hoping we can able to increase in some percentage.
There is two elements at play, right? One is the backward integration, and the plants being in RICO, there are some benefits also which come in. So that will also aid the margins going ahead.
Yes, backward integration, you can see we did, especially in manifold like it, our tubing section, and of course in sheet metal. So earlier some parts we are buying from outside, but now we are not buying. So that will also help to increase. And also, especially some products, what we added is really have much margins compared to our existing, especially in bar and plate heat exchanger. Secondly, is complete bus air conditioning. So these two main like component or complete HVAC system will able to also slightly up to our existing margin.
Right. And Santosh ji, your outlook for the new bus AC segment. Now, this is a new area which your company is going. Just give us the details about this, and by when can the incremental benefit starts coming in for this new segment of the bus AC?
So if you see complete bus air conditioning as on today, as per my personal opinion, is 1,000 crore market size for especially in India, and almost three company have a complete 90 to 95% market share. And as Indian company, one they have I think 60 to 70% market share. So if I compare in all three big players, we are the on top in term of backward integration. And which company we bought, they have legacy I think more than 15 year in that particular field, but they are unable to do goods because of finance issue. So now we already have ramping up already like this quarter, including this quarter, we are going to achieve around I think 500 bus complete air conditioning for this quarter, and then next year we able to target at least we can able to achieve 15% of market share in next year for complete India market. For that, we already hired almost 15 people in sales, and the main key criteria to market share of bus air conditioning, especially service center. So that we know, and my team already know. So we'll already open 5 service center in India, and each month we are going to open. So fully 25 or 30 service center pan India we are going to open within next year. So that is the key criteria to get the market share for bus air conditioning, complete bus air conditioning.
And Santoshji, talking about the international business, it's roughly 16% of your revenue, that's much I know. But there seems to be a good demand in Middle East and US also. Just wanted to ask your views now, since a lot of trade deals are coming in India's favor. What would be your strategy in the international expansion? Which countries the inquiries have picked up?
So earlier, what we are exporting to our existing customer, so you can see we are able to increase numbers in export, but maximum revenue we are receiving is still on our existing customer. You can say from old customer only. But from old facility, we are not able to cater their new customer requirement or some you can say good numbers. But based on that, actually, we built our new facility, which is now operationals, and we added some new geometry to in mind to like requirement from especially North America and Europe. So from both sides now, I think tariff deal also is done. That is good for us. So we have already one president as on roll like as a sales for export. So he's still in the USA and multiple inquiry we have, multiple RFQ we have. So we already supplied some of samples, some now we are going to supply. So this year we are able to at least and like next financial year, where I think we are hoping to we can able to at least 60 to 70% on existing revenue only from export, like we will jump.
And
So
Santoshji, what about the capacity utilization levels? What are the expecting at least for FY27? For your businesses, what are the targets?
So next year we are like planning to utilize around 50% capacity from our new facility only. And after that, we are planning to at least 80%. So on the same, we are doing anything since last week. I think not last week, last quarter we added almost 40 plus new customer, including our existing as well as new products, especially from bar and plate, bus air conditioning, and refrigerator components. So things are going on right direction, and we are hoping we will able to achieve 50%
And
from.
right. And Santoshji, the thing is, there's a lot of volatility in the metal prices. Let it be copper, aluminium. A lot of them are a key raw material for you. How do you hedge your risks in this? And if any kind of adverse movements happens, what do you do? Just as clarity on that.
So I think still you can see price volatility is quite much in last quarter, but we have almost with all customer contract like that ki last quarter average we will apply for next quarter billing. So quarter to quarter basis, sometime you can say ki some percentage or like slightly we can hit, but we have always inventory 2.5 months and almost 20 days or 1 month under transit material. So I think directly we not affect from volatility. However, we can pass to our customer easily quarter on quarter basis. So if you compare like around yearly basis is no effect on us, but quarter to quarter basis, sometime you can say slightly hit or some slightly gain.
Exactly. So quarter to quarter, if you see, there might be some kind of volatility coming in and there'll be some pass-throughs as well. But Santosh ji, to put in perspective, apart from data centers, there is of course the industrialization taking place and larger cities or setups are being made in the commercial space as well. How are the demand trends or the client confidence looking like in these sectors, which are the new sectors except data center? We have talked extensively on that. What are the key new emerging sectors where you are getting more business?
So we have tracked like that. We are still, I think, our top 80% revenue from top 10 customer only, but we have now on board almost 250 customer. So we have order or maybe forecast or from all sectors, and that's why we added this new big facility. I think all sector is growing except for us is I think we are not working in room air conditioning, so we are not enjoying room air conditioning growth. But the other sector, of course, we have multiple customer, multiple applications. and that's why we are saying we are going to achieve 50% capital utilization from new facility. So for us, bus air conditioning also we are seeing good, and of course this bar and plate we are seeing. So last week only we got approved for our field trial as well from BLW. So now we can enter in as a tendering based 20% business
All
for
right.
as a
So
development
that's the
vendor.
view coming in. All right. Thanks a lot, Santosh sir, for giving your time and giving the entire picture of KRN Heat Exchangers and what it lies for the industry. It's always good to talk with you. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much, sir, joining in. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's the management of KRN Heat Exchangers. The stock has jumped up more than 55% in the last 1 month, and we clarified a lot of queries which have been put up by our KYC viewers. That's all, folks, for today. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.